Hi guys, greetings and a warm welcome to you all. Pisceans, this is your February 2018 reading with me. We are going to use 4 cards from this deck and then some clarifiers from different decks underneath, just to make the reading interesting and sort of stimulating and exciting. Now, before I started working with the cards for you guys, I got the message about the colour yellow and the sun. So we will see if that ties into the reading in any way, but we certainly know that the sun is an almighty powerful celestial object in our skies. Remember that February has no full moons. It's a rather unusual month this year. There are there's an eclipse on the 31st of January, which will have quite a degree of potency with it. And on the 15th of January, there was a new moon, which apparently is setting the tone for very much in our lives, how we move forward as the year goes on. So let's see, Pisces, what's in store for you guys. The first card is the Two of Pentacles. Your next card is Justice. Your next card is the Ace of Swords, and your fourth card is the Emperor. There's certainly a degree of yellow in all of those. You have the 2 major arcanas and an ace, so that's kind of a good way to start the reading. Let's clarify some with this deck. This is for Pisces as clarifiers. Anxiety, victory, broken heart, the garden and the gate, and then as a final clarifier with these really quite activated, energetic, jumpy little cards, the fairy cards. Debt paid off, goodbye to the old, hello to the new, healing, healed and healer, and be yourself. So you see, with mixing up the different decks, we can get quite an extensive set of messages that come through. So we will be reading them via the columns. We will start with the first column on the left, the Two of Pentacles up the top. If we see underneath the anxiety card, and then we see debt paid off, so the old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you in your life. It feels to me, when we see that Two of Pentacles anyhow, that quite often money seems to be coming and going a little bit in your life, and we can feel periods in the month where there's excesses, but then there's debt, if you like. And so you might be rolling along quite well and think, oh yay, I might buy that new TV, or I might book myself an overseas trip because I've got a bit of money here. And so you might go and do that, spend your cash, and then suddenly an unexpected bill could turn up, like your car maintenance might be a couple of $1,000s. Or another thing blows up in the house that needs repair, and you go, oh, but I just spent all that money, oh my God, this is creating tension for me. But it's saying, don't worry, somehow through this month with the ups and downs, there seems to be a feeling as though the money is sorting itself out. But I think what would be important to understand here is perhaps it would pay for you not to go out wildly spending initially, because if you do, it will create anxiety. So if any of you have been worried about finances, and perhaps you had already taken a loan out, or you had borrowed money from someone, or it had been gifted to you for a certain length of time and that time frame was coming back up, there seems to be somewhere along the line that you will find enough money to work it through to make the ends meet and to perhaps pay back debt. See if you can remember if you had any other funds placed anywhere that you could call upon and utilize. Some people forget that they might have a separate bank account with some money in it, or they might have some money in their shares and they could perhaps cash up some shares. Some of you may have invested a little bit of money, and it might have appeared to be going up and down, a little bit like the cryptocurrency issues at the moment. They have dropped, billions and billions of dollars in the month of January. So some of you might have had money in there and be worried about it, but I think that it's going to be up and down for a while. So if it is about investing, watch it carefully. It's a roller coaster, but try and pull out at the right moment and it might work for you. If this is about your job, some of you may be in for a slight pay increment. You might get a pay increment which helps to tie away the anxiety and helps to pay off the debt. For others of you who might be self-employed or waiting on money to come in one way or another, contract payments or something like that, you could find it's a wee bit slow, and this is why this might be creating a bit of anxiety for you. But just look at the bottom card and focus on that. So focus on the things that you do want, not the things you don't want to have happen. We come to this next line and we see justice, and then we see victory, and then over here we have the Ace of Swords. These two cards together can often represent, interestingly enough, an indicator of a divorce or a separating of the ways. Now this can be in through the personal relationship stage, such as the intimate ones like a long-term co-living partner or a marriage, or you know, a long-term romantic partner. It can often symbolise that there's a separating of the ways. It can also be a business that ends up separating. So we'll stick with this first column here anyhow. The Justice card talks about bringing balance into our life in some areas. It's also the card of the Libran energy. So this can be to do with air sign people or energies or issue as well. That often means communication. Sometimes this is in the form of something written, such as a legal document that is handed to you, or some of you may be attending family court issues or court scenes or places where you have to go about legal issues. It usually bodes well and says that it's going to be in your favour and that there is success coming. And underneath we had the Victory card. So if any of you have had issues to do with legal boundaries or even financial legal boundaries or family issues, you know, about children or the breaking up of a business or marriage, it could be starting to go through the legal court systems, but it feels as though the bonus or the general weight of the situation will pay fairly favourably to you. The last card at the bottom is Goodbye to the old, hello to the new, and it says you've finished one part of your life and now a new and even better part is beginning. So they're re-emphasising that this would appear to be the end of a cycle, and there is a degree of victory and success within it. Remember, these are general readings, so for everyone this could be a very different perspective of your life that we're referring to. Yeah, but it seems like you're saying goodbye to some old cycle and you're starting into this new phase. The Justice card at the top is also very much about karmic life patterns. So this can be that you have fulfilled a karmic debt, or you have learnt enough wisdom and you are able to move into the next phase or category of the turning life of the wheel of life, if you like. We do see too that that colour yellow is quite well represented up in that column and also through with the Victory card. So I think the yellow is about tying into your gut instinct and firming up that part of your body as well, which gives you in the end internal and external strength, which can be very, very beneficial for you. We come to this third column and we see the Ace of Swords, the broken heart, and then being healed. So again, these are really succinctly tied in cards. The Ace of Swords often means success and victory, which I've mentioned, at the cost of something. So it can be saying, yay, I've finally got my divorce papers through, I can now go my own way. Or yay, I've managed to, sell off that business and my partner in the business and we're going our own way. So often again there could be legal documents to sign. It can be when your divorce papers actually turn up, or when a business is sold and goes unconditional, or it has been on the market a long time and you've finally got a purchaser for it. But at the same time there is this feeling about the fact that you have loved whatever it was previously. At one point you loved it dearly and passionately and spent a lot of time and energy on it, and so there is still the feeling of a little bit of heart pain associated with it, that feeling of, oh, okay, so this really is the end, this really is the moving on. And you sometimes fondly remember why you loved it in the past or why it meant so much to you. and there's like a really roaring storm right outside as I said that. So some of you could be feeling like this wild or powerful stormy energy surging through this particular area of your life with these changes that are coming. And a beautiful stone to put on that, which matches really well with that in the background, is the calcium mangano pink, beautiful striated stone. It's a very gentle, cathartic, healing stone, and it just gives off such beautiful, soft energies. Underneath it says healing, healed, and healer. It says healing energy surrounds you and this situation. So know that if any of you are feeling, oh, you know, sad or a bit deflated, or at the same time you've succeeded or there's some success in it, there is always, every situation in life has two sides. So there is always the positives, but on the other side there will always be a little bit of sadness or negativity. So somewhere in the galactic ethers there is feeling that there are synergistic helpers looking after you, like your spirit guides or archangels or guardian angels that are also here to help bring in healing. So Raphael is a very good healer of energies and hurt hearts. So if you need to offer up a prayer or spend some time in meditation with the gentle love and energy of angelic beings and ask them to bring about healing. Some of you may become healers, and this process that you're working through may even be part of the journey of becoming a healer yourself. And this could also even be, for some of you, you're starting a new business after finishing off a previous career, and the business could be about healing and new age connection to spirituality. So that could be a tie-in as well. We come to this last row and we see the Emperor, and then we see the garden and the gate, and it says be yourself. So the Emperor often refers to April and March in the year, so that is the next month rolling in. It feels as though if that is the case here, we're talking here about the message between the three cards here can kind of roll through. They seem a little bit of an odd combobulation of messages, but the Emperor is very much about rules and regulations and authority and being rigid and upright and, you know, moral and blah blah blah. He can also be a person that can come into your life that could be like this, and he often is, as I said, representative of an Aries energy. So for some of you, you may come across this as a new person in your life, and then you may be finding these particular energies down here need to be addressed when this person comes in. You sort of go, wait a minute, am I ready for this? Do I want a new relationship? Do I want to be involving myself at this time, at this degree, or in this manner? So there's a possibility that if this is a new person coming in, they're going to make you ponder what it is you want and how do you want to get it, and do you want it to be with them. And then you've got to know about being yourself and not allowing someone else to put rules or regulations on you that you don't like, because that can be the case when the Emperor is around. It's that bottom card says the situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. So the card in the middle also represents very much about connecting at the spiritual level. It's about understanding that there is this beauty and there is this whole world of connectivity out there, and spiritual attainment and enjoyment and flourishment and wealth and opportunity. But the little girl actually has a key tied around her neck, and she hasn't opened the gate to go in because she is afraid to possibly take the steps. She's afraid to be herself because are rules and regulations stopping her? Are they making her think too much about opening herself for more freedom? So this end row is actually far more convoluted than it would appear to be in the beginning, and I think for each of you it will represent something different at a very different level. But if we are talking about questioning your beliefs or your ethics or your role in life, or how you feel cuckolded by rules and boundaries and moral ethics, religious beliefs or family issues, you may be thinking, I'm not sure if I should break free, or I'm not sure if I want this anymore, or I'm not sure if I'm being honest to myself. So there seems to be a great deal of contradictory thought and energies going on in this last line, and I think it addresses you at a very deep personal level. And again, for each of you, this will be very intrinsically personal and different for each of you, but I think it follows through from that January the 15th new moon that has really set the tone for the year, and also the eclipse on January the 31st. So, as I said earlier, 2018 is the year of birth, death and reincarnation. So a lot of deep personal reassessments are going to happen this year, and I think you guys are starting it in the month of February. It will be up to you how you deal with it and what direction you want to go, but I think this card in the middle tells you that there is great opportunity if you open your heart and perhaps drop off some of the rules and allow yourself to be true to yourself, and you will find your answers at probably a deeper level and a more powerful level for yourselves. So there you are, Pisceans. I hope you have really enjoyed your reading. I think it's a very beautiful one. There's a lot in there going on, and certainly about relationships with yourself and some others in your life. Thank you all for joining me. It's a pleasure to do these readings, and I love it when you leave your comments and when you like and sub. If you sub, you won't miss any of the uploads that I put on my video. So thanks guys, be happy, be safe, and have a wonderful month ahead, and I'll catch you in March for the following month's reading. Much love, namaste.